Look at this.
Clear out of the way. Sir, get back.
Oh no! Oh no! I've suffered grievous brutally. Oh, there's the assault.
We got video.
There is the felony assault, right? The governor of Oregon starts sending Trump these text messages. The governor says, Mr. President, I just received your notice to mobilize the Oregon National Guard outside of my control. I believe this is unlawful and unwarranted. You broke your promise to speak with me before taking further action against Portland. I will be in touch later. And Trump responds, I told you, Biatch. I notified you to get things in order, and you didn't. They attacked our ICE patriots last night and at other times. If you get your state in order, we don't come in. But everyone knows that Portland has been an unmitigated disaster for years. I won't let that happen in America. President Trump doesn't knuckle under to anyone. Also, Broadview, Illinois, the Chicago area, ICE tumult that's happening. They complained about ICE being sent in large numbers to the Chicago area to back up the Broadview detention center. And that earned Chicago a sharply worded letter from Trump. Let's see, or from the Trump administration, I should say. Let's see. Can I make that bigger? Dear Mayor Thompson, thank you for your September 26th letter. The safety and protection of our officers, staff, and those in our custody remain our top priority. Unfortunately, the Broadview facility continues to face violence and unlawful activity by rioters. The relentless actions of these individuals and their attempts to obstruct the enforcement of federal law are unacceptable. As you know, these events come just days after the armed attack on an ICE facility in Dallas, where officers were targeted simply for carrying out their duties. Against that backdrop, chants of shoot ICE and physical attempts to breach the Broadview facility cannot be dismissed as peaceful protest. They are direct threats to the lives of federal personnel and to public safety. We have repeatedly requested assistance from state and local law enforcement, including your own police department, to disperse these unlawful assemblies. Instead, local inaction has enabled agitators to escalate violence and placed federal officers, first responders, and Broadview residents in harm's way. If our officers were provided the support they need, the crowd control measures referenced in your letter would not be necessary. That would be the OC canisters and the pepper balls and the ceramic balls and all that. These rioters are laying siege and interfering with legitimate law enforcement operations. Failure to help provide relief makes you a party to the obstruction of justice. There will be no change in our operational posture until these unlawful activities cease. The only siege in Broadview is the one being waged against the United States government. You can either continue to be part of the problem or choose to be part of the solution by directing your police to enforce local ordinances and working with us to remove violent offenders. Todd Lyons, Acting Director, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Bringing it to her face. By the way, they have been making a bunch of arrests. I was pleased to see. A 26th, according to Andy No, a 26th riot suspect has been federally charged in Portland. Tomas Plancarte Benson. How many of those do we need in the country? 37 years old, by the way, not some hot-headed college kid. 37 years old, charged with felony assault of a federal officer. That's good for 8 years in federal penitentiary. He tried escaping. That'll be another charge, but was found, caught, and carried into the ICE building to be identified like all other federal suspects before him. A liberal federal judge released him without bail, but he'll have paper out now for the arrest and prosecution. Violent physical assault on a federal officer released without bail by an unelected black-robed tyrannical inferior district trial court judge, of course. But what they're doing, of course, is they're getting these guys in custody, taking their masks off, booking them photo, facial recognition, and I presume they're not grabbing people at random, but they're observing the crowd and identifying the people who are in a command and control role, as you would expect of a 37-year-old, attacking the infrastructure of these organizations. Dana Briggs, seen in my footage below, is charged with felony assault of a federal officer at the Illinois facility.
Move off the roadway.
Clear the road. Clear the road.
Move off the roadway now.
Back.
Clear out of the way.
Sir, get back.
Oh, did you see that guy's flop? This big fat guy? Look at this little tiny... First of all, the guy's not backing up. And law enforcement is allowed to use reasonable force to clear the roadway. So they give this guy a shove, and look, he was prepared. He's balanced on his heels right now. Let me make it bigger. The guy in the hat here, he's balanced on his heels, so the slightest touch is going to send him backwards. Look at this.
Clear out of the way.
Sir, get back.
Oh no! Oh no! I've suffered grievous brutally. These monsters. The Gestapo.
I got it. You threw
Oh, there's the assault.
We got video.
There is the felony assault right there.
Get back.
And I know what you're thinking. It's just a slap. A slap against an armed officer. How can that be good for 8 years? Folks, if you don't have a bright line test for this kind of stuff, then the force they use on the officers just escalates and escalates and escalates until they get a response. The bright line test has to be nothing. We have a similar flop case here. A similar flop case. So these got a bunch of people with ice getting into an elevator. And then a guy who was causing trouble in the corridor shoves his way into the elevator too. And the ICE officer's like, no, you're not traveling with us. They shove him back. These pro-immigrant photographers who are not really news, they're just there with cameras to cause trouble. They rush in, physically close in on the officers. One of them gets pushed back. That woman bumps into a dude who falls over and says he has to be taken away in a gurney to the hospital. Look at this. ICE is going in. A couple women, they're fine with that. This guy in the red shirt here, pattern shirt, you're out. You're a troublemaker. Camera woman comes in. They shove her back. She falls into another guy who falls over. And that other guy, look at him. Oh my God. Oh my God. I fell on the floor. I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah, give him some room.
Oh no, I've been mortally wounded. Look. Oh. Tell my wife. Sorry. Tell my husband I love him. The EMTs are there. They got a neck brace on him. Oh my God. This guy should be in the NBA. He could be in professional soccer. American enemies. This is what they're reduced to. The anti-American force. Look at this guy. It's so funny. And of course, they shoved this photographer back because she was bum rushing the officers. They shove her back. She's the one that knocked into the other dude, and then he flopped, just like Fatty in the earlier video. So they were crowding in a bunch of law enforcement in an elevator and were in the way of the law enforcement. Law enforcement was removing that guy with the roses or whatever on his shirt, some weirdo who got into the elevator causing trouble. Law enforcement or security pushed the woman out of the way because she wouldn't move. She bumped into the guy. The guy then took a super minor fall into his shoulder, then couldn't move and needed to be put in a neck brace and wheeled out on a stretcher. Really, that fall wouldn't have hurt any adult under the age of 70. And I'm afraid I have to agree with that assessment. These are the floppers. I'm going to start calling, forget the Democrat Party. They're now the flopper party.